Welcome to this episode on the Health and Happiness Show, where it's my mission to change your mindset so that you can live a healthy and happier life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Ollie here, and welcome to the very first episode on the Health and Happiness Show. I'm incredibly excited to bring this podcast to you as part of my quest and bigger mission to helping you live a healthy and happier life. And in today's episode, I want to dive deeper into those two words, health and happiness, and not only what they mean to me, but hopefully what they'll mean to you by the end of this podcast episode. And to do that, I want to take you back to 3 years ago, when truthfully, my life changed forever. On the 29th of September 2017, my whole world was turned upside down when the consultant said to me, "Ollie, you have cancer." I was diagnosed with a malignant brain tumour and given a 5-year prognosis. Of course, I was shocked and I was scared. It didn't make sense, right? I was 21 years old. I was working as a personal trainer and I was living and preaching this healthy lifestyle. Yet, I'd just been told that I might not see my 27th birthday. Then I had to contend with the thought that actually, I may not even see my wedding day. I may not even get to see and watch my kids grow up. I may have to contend with getting to the end of my life before 26 years old, never having had the impact that I've always aspired to have. It was hard, and truthfully, for the first few weeks, it had knocked me off my feet. I was out for the count and I had lost myself. And in that very moment, the moment that I heard those 3 words, "You have cancer," I lost all health and I lost all happiness. But at the same time, despite losing my health and my happiness, equally, I had gained perhaps everything I could ever need and want in my life. What I gained was the most valuable life lesson of all. That is the value of time. One of my favourite sayings and quotes comes from Benjamin Franklin, who once said, "Most people die at 25 but aren't buried until they're 75. Most people die at 25 but aren't buried until they're 75. Is cancer is cancer a tragedy? Of course. But the real tragedy of life is going through this one life, never having truly lived it to a life of health and happiness, never having truly lived it to a life on your own terms, never having truly lived it with love and enjoyment and fulfillment. In that moment, I had gained the value of time. And in that moment, my mindset did change, right? So one minute I'm like, I've lost everything. This is the end of my life. But the next I'm like, hold on. I've just gained the most valuable life lesson. And what I can now do and use with my mindset to not only help me overcome this cancer battle, but to go through my life living my best life. One of my genuine hopes is that it doesn't take cancer or any other life-threatening disease to teach you that valuable lesson. And if you take anything away from this podcast today, let it be this. Life is not a dress rehearsal. You only get one shot of this thing. And that is why those 2 words, health and happiness, mean everything to me. Because in order to maximize the quantity of time with the highest quality of life, it comes down to those 2 words, health and happiness. Because let me tell you this, without health, we have nothing. And without happiness, we are empty inside. And that is why I have the highest level of gratitude for my cancer, right? Because despite it absolutely throwing me off course and ruining my life, it's turned out to and become the biggest blessing of my life. Oh man, it gives me so much happiness and gratitude to be here today and to record this podcast episode. Because what it means is I've pushed through that period of my life, that dark and difficult time, right? But what did it? What got me through it was you on the other end of this podcast. You got me through it. Because the scariest and most challenging thing I've ever done in my life was the day that I hit publish on making my cancer diagnosis public, right? Not only was it a realization to myself, but it was admitting and announcing to the world that this is what I'm facing and this is what I need help with. I will never forget the influx, hundreds of messages coming through on my account with love and support and generosity. Then it added into the donations. People donating their hard-earned money to help pay for my cancer treatment, which is the reason why I'm still here today. That level of love, that level of kindness, that level of generosity, I will never be able to repay. But I will do my damn best to doing so by serving you right now with this podcast, with the Health and Happiness Academy, and just trying to do my bit to give that love, to give that kindness, to give that generosity back. Because if I can give back even just 1% of what you gave me, then I will die one day fulfilled. Health and happiness are the two words that mean the most to me in life. Because I learned that cancer took that away from me. Cancer took away my health and happiness. And that is what I don't want you to go through to learn the same lesson. And that is why now I'm on this mission, I'm on this purpose to helping you live your healthiest and happiest life. And how I've done that and how I'm doing that is within the Health and Happiness Academy. The Health and Happiness Academy only launched earlier this year, but really I believe it's something that has been years in the making. As part of my journey and career as a personal trainer, I've always been on a journey to understanding what it takes for someone to change, what it takes for that individual to lose 100 pounds, gain confidence for the first time, or just feel good within their own skin again. And what I've learned in 10 years doing this is that it comes down to one thing, and that one thing is the mindset. The mind controls everything, from your thoughts to your feelings, to your emotions and to your actions. And if you can change, and I believe this, if you can change your mindset, then I believe you can achieve anything. And in part of my quest to helping you live a healthy and happy life, the catalyst and the driver to helping me do that, to helping me achieve that with you, is about changing the mindset. That is what this podcast is about. That is what my academy program is about. It's about changing your mindset. Because I believe and I know wholeheartedly that if I can do that, then I can help you do anything. And I can help you learn the value of time. And I can help show you how to go through life, living your life on your best ways, on your best days, maximizing time, right? With great health and an abundant happiness. That's what it's about. And within the academy, I do that by using 4 pillars called the 4-pillar formula, which is what I want to share with you today in this episode. The 4-pillar formula, I believe, is the transformation to a healthy and happier life, with each pillar making up 25%. Those 4 pillars are this: mind, body, love, and soul. In the academy, we start with the mind, because I believe that all change starts with the mindset. You can't build a business, you can't change your body, you can't work on your relationships unless you change your mindset first. Which is why for the first 4 weeks within the Health and Happiness Academy, that is what we change. Your mindset. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't take 30 days to change your mindset. It takes every day to change your mindset because it's an ever-growing thing. But what I've done and what I've created is that I believe it can take 30 days to change the mindset, but then a lifelong journey of working on and creating the mindset that we all need. The mindset and the mind within the Health and Happiness Academy is the first transformation that I certainly can help you make. That's because it's the mental transformation that we do make which unlocks the key to every other door in your life. So for example, right, you may be listening to this and you may be a mom, right? And you may be feeling a little bit unfulfilled in your life right now. Don't get me wrong, you've given the gift of children to this earth. And I personally don't believe there's a greater gift in life than that, right? But yet, why is it then that you're still feeling unfulfilled? Is it because you haven't pursued a meaningful career? Is it because actually you've let your body image go as a result of giving up that for children, right? Look, I don't know and I can't answer that right now. But all I know is that despite being the most amazing parent in the world, there's this feeling of incompleteness. Equally, the business entrepreneur that wants to build a business and impact millions of lives has all of the financial freedom they could ever wish and dream for, yet they still go to bed each night miserable and depressed. In fact, the majority of the world's billionaires are depressed. Like, what? Ultimate money, unlimited money, yet they're depressed? It doesn't make sense. My point is this, guys. It doesn't matter what necessarily you have in life unless we have a healthy and happy mindset. Nothing else matters. Your health is your wealth, and as I learned with my cancer, your physical health is everything. But essentially, what got me through this physical health journey was my mental health, i.e. my mindset. That is why the first step that you have to take, and please listen to this, right? Because if you have goals, and I believe that you do, because we're goal-seeking, goal-striving machines. If you have goals in your life, then you need to work on your mindset first. Because the limiting barrier, the barrier stopping you from having more money, having more fulfillment, having better relationships, being a better mom, being a better dad, is this, your mindset. The thoughts, the feelings, the actions and the emotions that are going on in here are controlling and dictating everything else. Those limiting beliefs, that self-sabotage, that demotivation, all starts in here. And if you can change that, then my God, can you achieve anything? And I hope you can tell just from the level of passion that I'm speaking with right now, that is the opportunity at hand here. And the reason why I say all of this with so much confidence is not only through my own transformation, but for the transformation of my clients, right? How have I helped someone lose over 100 pounds? I've changed their mindset. How have I helped business CEOs and MDs go on to have impact in their industry, in their world? By changing the mindset. Whether it's self-belief, whether it's self-image, it doesn't matter. Everything starts with the mindset. And my encouragement to you today is to start working on your mindset. And boy, let me tell you this now, right? If you don't know how to change your mindset, if you don't know how to work on your mindset, if you don't know how to start on your mindset, then keep listening to this podcast. In fact, hit subscribe right now, because that is what this podcast is about. That is what the Health and Happiness Academy is about. Changing your mindset so that you can live a healthy and happy life. But that is pillar one. But truthfully, it only makes up 25% of a complete transformation. Pillar two is body, which refers to the physical transformation that we can make. Look, it's no secret that what you eat has a profound impact on your health. Food is not just fuel, food is medicine. And oh man, like the savior to my health today wasn't the alternative treatments that I went under. They played a massive part. I can't dispute that. But really, aside from mindset, it was the food that I eat. The Hippocrates quote, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food," right? Like, that is the power of food. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food, right? Food is medicine. And if you're in any degree of physical pain, from sore joints to inflammation to being overweight to diabetes, right? Then I can guarantee now that starting on your diet today, by eating better, by cutting out the crap, by taking out the takeaways, right, by limiting alcohol consumption, is the best start that you can make to get on this health journey and thus making a physical transformation. Man, your health is your wealth, and whilst I want you to tap into your mindset, let me tell you this, right? So long as you're overweight, so long as you hate the skin that you sit in and you live in, right? So long as you can't look at yourself in the mirror and smile, my God, you're never going to have a healthy or happy mental health. It's as simple as that. They work hand in hand together, and that's why it is your mind and your body that together form the health on this journey and within the Health and Happiness Academy. Moving on, that then moves on to the remaining 50%, which forms our happiness. And that is our love, and that is our soul. Now these words, look, whatever your interpretation of them are, is actually whatever your temperature is, right? Let me explain. What I mean by love, like, love is the joy, love is the excitement, love is the happiness that we have for life. And within the academy, I teach this in a number of ways. For example, right? Think of, like, what is one word that you associate closely to love? Relationships, right? Whether that's a love within a partner, love within your family, love within your friends, right? It's the relationships that we have which are the most meaningful in our life, right? Whether that's with your partner, your family, your friends, your work colleague, it doesn't matter. It is the people within our environments, the people in life that give us meaning, that give us fulfillment, and which give us love. But it doesn't just stop there with love. It expands into something so much bigger and so much more. For example, within the academy, love includes the work that we do. What has given me the greatest fulfillment in my life is working with people and doing the work that I love to do. That is coaching, that is helping you change your mindset, right? If you are going to a job every single day that you know in your heart it doesn't give you that fulfillment, you know in your heart that you think, is there something else I could be doing with my time? Then my encouragement for you is to consider changing that. And don't get me wrong, like, you've got to obviously consider finances and you've got to look into the logistics of changing jobs. But let me tell you this. If you do, and once you do, the level of happiness that will become abundant in your life as a result of turning up to a job that you love every single day, that isn't work. Do you know what that is? That's passion. And passion becomes purpose. And when passion becomes purpose, that unlocks the door to fulfillment. You know, that's just a very short insight into what love can offer us. But here's the thing. If your relationships, if the work that you do, if the if the relationship that you have with yourself, right? In the academy, this is the module 3 within the love pillar. It's your self-image. If you don't love yourself, and I don't say that in a narcissistic way, I don't say that in a pretentious way, I say that in a way of self-care and self-worth. If you don't have a high self-image, nothing happens. You don't prioritize your diet. You don't work on your mindset. Like, can you see now and start to understand that collectively these all come together? Which moves me on to pillar number 4, which makes up the remaining part of the transformation, and that is soul. The soul pillar within the academy, within health and happiness, is the spirituality that we have. Now, for some people this will be faith. For some people this will be a higher power or a higher universe. For some people this will be as simple as the law of attraction, right? The spirituality that we have is that purpose in our life. It is that connection. And it's that sense of belonging which we all need. That's one of Tony Robbins' 6 basic human needs. Read it, look it up, it will change your life. The belongingness that we need is a human instinct. It's part of human nature to belong. That's why we have tribes, communities, and families, right? We need that neediness to belong, and how we do that and how we can achieve that is through connection, it's through a spiritual awakening, and most importantly as well, it's through healing. One of the elements of the soul pillar within the Health and Happiness Academy is healing from your past. Because let me tell you this, right? Cancer is a part of my past, but it's not a part of my present. What I mean by that is it no longer continues to define who I am or who I was, right? And regretfully, so many continue to become haunted by the past, today, and the present. And without mentioning any names, there is someone close to me within my life who I've had to see their life become contaminated by what went on in their previous life. And it's hard to watch and even harder to accept that that's become who they are today. But that doesn't have to become you. And part of why I put the soul into the academy and why healing is one of the modules in it is because we have to heal from our past if we're to move into a healthy and happier future. And that's the power of it, you know. So that's why collectively the mind, body, love and soul each make up 25% each, and collectively become 100% of the transformation that you can and will make. Those 4 pillars together will help you live and create a healthy and happy life. And that is what life is about. If cancer taught me one thing, it's the value of time. And if we're to live the greatest quantity of life, that needs to come from the highest quality. And the highest quality comes from health and happiness. Guys, if you're listening to this, I hope this has been an introduction today as to what's possible on a journey of health and happiness, and what's possible when you change your mindset. And the reason why I keep coming back to mindset is because mindset is that key that unlocks the door to every opportunity that's waiting for you in life. And again, what gives me so much excitement, and it is genuine excitement, is to launch this podcast, is to have the Health and Happiness Academy, and just show you what's possible. Because once we work with this, and this is part of the podcast, right? Like, my commitment to this podcast is to not only for you to listen up, and to not only to listen to myself and put out with myself, but to bring the best minds in the mindset space, the health space, the emotional space and the spiritual space, and bring them onto the podcast and help them and get them to deliver tremendous value. Because here's the thing, right? Like, the saying that I live by is this: you are one decision away from a totally different life. And if you are not healthy or happy right now in your life, then you're one decision away from changing that. And the reason why I'm getting so emotional right now saying that is because just 4 years ago, I was in a dark place, and I was suffering with depression. 2 years later, I then get diagnosed with cancer. And then I learned what a dark and scary place can be, right? But I want you to know that if you aren't healthy and if you aren't happy, then you're one decision away from changing that. And if one podcast interview, if one word that I say helps you change that, then I've changed everything. So I think that could be a good opportunity for me to go and grab a tissue and leave this podcast here. I hope you've enjoyed this, and again, please take the time to subscribe to this. If you enjoyed this podcast, leave a review and follow my work across social media, where you can find me at Ollie. And to learn more about the Health and Happiness Academy, then it's www.olliejowett.com, where you can hear about my story and learn more about the journey that we can go on together with the Health and Happiness Academy. Look, I've taken up enough of your time. Ironically, the value of time. I've taken up enough of it today. I hope you've got value out of this episode, and until the next episode, stay healthy, be happy. Take care.